In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. I'd like to present to you a model for priests and bishops. Is this man right here. You see, this is Venerable Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen. Here's another portrait of this great man of God. He lived into his 80s and died in 1979. And he was famous for many things. He spoke on the radio, spoke on TV. He had millions of followers. He was chosen to be Archbishop of Rochester, New York. He was a prolific writer, wrote close to 70 books. He was the head of the propagation of the faith, which was the missionary society of the whole church. But we'd like to highlight in the life of this great man of God who's already venerable Fulton J. Sheen, is you can see him right here in prayer. And what he did was, he heard a story of a little Chinese girl in communist China who was praying in front of the Blessed Sacrament, and soldiers rushed in, and they, with their rifles, they sprayed bullets in the church. And some of the bullets were riveted into the Blessed Sacrament, ripped off the door, and the hosts were scattered on the ground. And this little girl saw this happening. So she came back the following day, made a holy hour, and they bowed over and lapped up one of the hosts. There were 34 hosts that were scattered on the ground. She did this for 34 days in a row, and then the last day, the soldiers came in again. Now they saw her, and with one of the soldiers with a rifle, the butt of the rifle bludgeoned her to death. And Fulton Sheen, hearing this story of this heroic little Chinese girl who really became a martyr for the Blessed Sacrament, martyr, you might say, martyr of the Holy Hour, he decided from that moment on that he would make a holy hour every day. So for the rest of his life, as a priest and as an archbishop, Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen prayed the holy hour every day. And he called the holy hour the hour of power. Now, at about 75, according to canon law, bishops have to send in a letter in which they retire as bishops. And the Holy Father accepted that, but he still was going to live another good 8 or 9 years. So the rest of his life, what he did was he dedicated himself to preaching retreats, Fulton Sheen preaching retreats, especially to priests and bishops. But he really felt that by priests and bishops going deeper in their faith, by arriving at a deeper conversion, that's how the church could really be uplifted. Now, when he preached these retreats, he basically had one idea. And he gave obviously great talks, and the priest and bishop were impressed by him. But the essential focus of his preaching was one idea, and was this, that the priests and bishops had to make a holy hour. They had to make a holy hour every day in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And he once said that, when you preach and teach, people don't always listen, but when I open up my mouth and I preach and I teach, people listen. And he said, the reason is because of the hour of power. So I invite all of you, as the church, especially in the United States, is going through a real crisis right now, going through a real struggle, to pray to this man. He's a venerable, that he'll be beatified and eventually be canonized, and that priests and bishops will see in him a model. He was a real man of prayer, but he was a real modern apostle, and possibly one of the greatest preachers in the world last century. So let's ask Venerable Fulton J. Sheen to pray for the church, to pray for priests, and to pray for bishops, that they would do the hour of power. Amen.